Welcome, race fans, to Thursday Night Throwdown here on Evolution Racing Network. This is Michael Sheffield. Alongside me is Craig Burns. Tonight, we're going to bring you the All-Series cars from Talladega. Craig, how excited about Talladega? I know I'm excited to see some drafting action going on tonight.
Sheffield, I'm super excited for this 2.66 mile super speedway. These guys are going to be door to door all night, nose to tail. It's going to be super fun. Can't wait to get this one started.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an entertaining race, and Talladega is one of those places you can be in the back. Next thing you know, you can draft your way up to the front. The key thing here is you're going to have somebody to draft with. You know, how do you feel about how your chances are coming into a place like Talladega, Craig?
Yeah, you definitely have to find your friends early and quick. Hopefully you stay with them. I feel like we are going to see some people dip down on the back straightaway early to get in the back, to find their teammates, to make it for this 40-lap race. It's not a super long race, but, every time you come in Talladega, it's going to be a crapshoot. These guys are putting it all out on the line tonight. And right now, Winker sitting at the top of the board with the fast lap.
Yeah, Winker is definitely sitting on the board right now at the fastest lap. And, that's one thing with Talladega. You're going to have help. And here, looking at tonight, about roughly a 37 to 40 lap window. So, I'm wondering if anybody's going to make the whole 40 laps here tonight, or if you're going to see some pitting here, because as you know, the guy up front, Craig, is going to be burning more fuel than the guys behind him.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going to have to really think about saving in the draft tonight, maybe rolling it, not pedal down the whole time. Fuel strategy, we get caution. That's going to throw everything up in the air. So fuel's going to be close. You're not going to have to worry about tires too much today, as honestly, if I'm taking a green flag pit stop, I'm unchecking those tires tonight.
Yeah, tires here are not going to be that huge of a factor now. Like you mentioned, if you got a caution, yes, you'll want to come in. If you're coming in anyway, you might as well take those 4 fresh tires. But draft is going to be the huge factor here, as we mentioned earlier. Tonight is 4 laps here. They'll have 2 green, white checkered attempts, and they also have 1 fast repair. It's anybody's race here at Talladega. There's, you may have some favorites coming in, a short track, or 1.5 mile oval, but coming into super speedways, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, the game right now is going to be patience, I think, all night long, when to make the move. Maybe they're going to go single file, get their feet a little wet before we see the side-by-side, maybe 3 wide action coming to the end. It's going to be a really fun race. I can't wait till we get this green flag dropped. Another thing we got to worry about tonight, pushing in the corners. These guys are going to want to bump draft all night long, get right on the back of their cars. Can't do it in the corners, can't do it in the tribal. And you notice here at Talladega, start-finish line, you got to go an extra couple football fields past the tribal, other like Daytona. So that's going to throw it up in the air too.
Yeah, and you always see here at Talladega, it's about the right move at the right time, and you're going to have there. It's you don't want to. You kind of want to be the guy up front late in the run, but you don't want to be the guy up front the whole run, because, as we mentioned, fuel burn off. But it's gonna. I think we're gonna see some drivers back, and a little bit of the draft getting separating 2 or 3 cars away from else to see how fast they can get back up to the lead cars, so they'll know how much time they've got left before they can make that run.
Yeah, it's all about anticipating the run for sure. When to step out of line, you step out of line, no one goes with you, you're going to get freight trained all the way to the back. As now we're going to go over the race details for tonight. We are going to be at Talladega for 40 laps here. The air, about 80 degrees, a little humidity. Not going to be a huge factor here tonight as they go for 40 laps around Talladega.
Yeah, and 56% humidity, cloudy with a little bit of wind here, 7 miles an hour. I don't, humidity is, like you said, or the temperature is going to play a huge effect here tonight. Track temp right now, it looks like about 97 miles an hour. 97 degrees Fahrenheit. So, it's going to be here, it's not so much dependent on the weather as other tracks is that, because here the major factor is going to be the draft.
Yeah, draft's going to play a huge factor all night. We're going to talk about it all night long. Throw the tires away. It's all going to be about the draft.
Now, talking about Talladega, looking at his schedule for the next 3 weeks, one of your favorite tracks is coming up next week, and that's Michigan. Then they're going to have Homestead and Phoenix. So this is going to be an interesting run, the last 4, till they crown the champion.
Yeah, I can't wait to come back to my hometown, Michigan. That's a fast track, kind of like Talladega almost. Not really, but it's a fast track, middle of the high line grooves. As we're coming to the end of practice.
Yeah, so we're at the end of practice now, and it looks like we're going to get ready to start qualifying here in just a second. And qualifying here at Talladega is, this is one of those tracks that, as I like to say, it's a gamble whether you're up front or you want to stay in the back. Talking about the race, I'm wondering if we're going to see anybody, kind of try to lay back a little bit here just in case a caution comes out early to stay clean, to put themselves in a position up front, because as anywhere on this track, an incident anywhere can collect, half the field, 3/4 of the field.
Yeah, it's not when, or it's not if, it's when for the big one. You got to watch out for that. One car goes, it's going to take out 3, 4, 6, half the field. So we're going to see qualifying starting off as, if you want to go for that top spot, I really think your first lap is going to have to be up against the wall. Try to get as much speed as you can coming down to the green flag. Run your whole out lap against the wall. And when they come down to get their white flag, that's when you're going to see them go down to the yellow line. It's stressful here at Talladega because you want little to none wheel movement in the turns, as every 10th matters.
Yeah, every 10th matters here because the qualifying times are going to be so close. And as you mentioned, that out lap on the high side, and then your second lap, you've got to hug that white line. I mean, that yellow line is as much as you can without, as you mentioned, putting too much wheel into it. The further you come off that white line, the more time you're going to lose. So it's kind of a gamble, and you don't know where you're really going to be sitting until everybody posts 2 laps on the board.
Yeah, I think Kelly Ertz right now is doing a fantastic job using that high lane, trying to build up as much speed as he can. The car looks very, very, I guess you'd say, not moving at all. He's straight. We'll see what time he puts down here.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here and see if we get our first time lap down here. Brian Seaborn with the 53. Oh, the lock is just taking it with a 53.39 right now. So starting to see times come aboard. And as you mentioned, Kelly Everts has now got a time on the board.
Yeah, this is going to be his burner lap. You see him down low, hugging that yellow line. It's all going to be about the corner entry and corner exit. There's a little bump in the drivable too. You got to be careful about. So we'll see how he rolls through that. It's shaping up to be a good lap.
Yeah, shaping up lap here, and we'll see how we can finish this off. He's holding the yellow line pretty well here. There should be a really good lap for him. See if he can move his way up towards the top. All right, we're going to take a quick pause here and pay homage to our national anthem. We'll be right back with the rest of qualifying and the grid for the race tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
All right, welcome back to Evolution Racing Network as we're just now finishing qualifying. We're going to take a look here at our grid for tonight's starting lineup here. Your pole winner tonight, which will be the Trailblazer Pole Award presented by Shenandoah Shine, goes to Sam Jones in the number 45. Outside line will be Cody Dorsey in the number 84. Starting inside line will be Kevin in the number 6. Starting in the 4th position will be Curtis Rogers in the number 65. Starting 5th will be Bryant Seaborn in the number 76. Starting 6th will be Howie Meyer in the number 52. Starting 7th will be Evan Scott in the number 24. Starting 8th will be last week's winner, Clinton Sneed in the number 49. Starting 9th will be Colton Kincart in the number 63. Starting 10th will be Brandon Pearl in the 00. Craig, you take the rest?
Rolling off 11th in number 34, Jonathan Locke. Starting in 12th in the number 48, Brandon Browning. Rolling off 13th in the number 10, Kelly Ertz. Rolling off 14 in the number 77, Clayton Kincart. Rolling off 15th in the number 05, Joshua Abbey. Rolling off 16th in the number 51, Bradley Wilson. Rolling off in the number 17 spot in the number 42, Kyle Bartles. Rolling off 18th in the number 13, Garrett Delph. Rolling off 19th in the number 94, Robert Colgan. Rolling off 20th in the number 75, Brian Skidmore. Rolling off 21st in the number 97, Rodney Griffin. And starting shotgun on the field in the 22nd position, number 30, Brian Gronowski.
All right, waiting here for the pace car to start leading the field around here. Looks like we got a field of 22 cars out here tonight, Craig. I'm interesting to see, how people are going to play it early, whether they're going to, as we mentioned earlier, drop back, whether they're going to try to run up front, how quick it's going to get single file, and how aggressive they're going to be right off the start here.
Yeah, I think everyone knows we got 40 laps. You can't win it on the first lap, but you can certainly lose it. So it's going to be we're going to see it's going to be a waiting game, I guess, if they're going to go single file early or they're going to try to get that outside line rolling. Right now, Jones in the number 65 in the number 45, excuse me, has the rolling start. So we'll see what happens here today.
Yeah, and here you're gonna see who your teammates or your friends are for sure. As I'm sure, there's a lot of communication going on in the radio chatter, but maybe you might see a couple teams alliance or a couple other drivers, just working together, and you'll start to see those teams form, especially at a place like Talladega if they don't already have a team.
Yeah, you really need friends out here tonight, drafting partners. You can't get left out to dry, but maybe, like I said, on the first lap, we might see a couple cars dip down below that yellow line, go a little back, play the long game, wait for that big one. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be 40 laps, and these guys are going to be worn out after 40 laps. This is one of those tracks that you're constantly, there is no really any relaxation time, as a driver here. You're constantly evaluating what's going on in front of you, what's going on behind you, and where you see the lines forming and the runs coming. So it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, it's a traffic jam at 180 miles an hour for these Arca cars. It's going to be really fun, exciting. Tempers are going to get hot as pace cars get ready to dip down. I'll hand it over to you, Sheffield.
Sam Jones will be leading them to the start here with Cody Dorsey on the outside. As pace car dips off, it should be coming to the green restart zone here in just a second. And still waiting for the flag. This is the thing with here is, as you mentioned earlier, that tri-oval, and they're off. It looks like Sam Jones is going to get a pretty good start here with the number 6 of Kevin Winker giving him a good push here. The cautionary tail here, as mentioned earlier, you can push in the straightaways. You're not going to be able to do it in the corner.
We got the 52 car in the middle. He's slow to start. Maybe he missed a shift. He's falling back as he's getting freight trained into the middle. Right now we have Jones leading a 4 car down low, 1 up high. That's going to be the 84 of Dorsey coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the 52. I wonder if that's a strategy call or if he missed a shift or if he wanted to go ahead and get towards the back. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Because right now he's running in 16th position. So, you might have somebody he wants to work with back there. You might want to avoid the, possibly the big one here.
Yeah, I got a little sketchy there coming in turn 1 and 2. That's not my preferred spot to drop back, but maybe he knows something that I don't. As right now, the number 84 trying to look down, maybe staying on the outside. He has a help from one friend as they come into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like the front three are, or a single file here, and then you got the 84 trying to make the move on the outside, and the 6 is going to jump up in front of the 84, try to get the push out to the front to take that early lead.
Kevin Winker with a big run down the back straightaway. He has help with Cody Dorsey. I don't think it's gonna make the move. It's Jones, still our leader, coming into turn number 3.
Yeah, we'll have to watch this move coming down the front stretch here, because that inside line is going to get that momentum shift as they get in the center of the corner. And looks like Sam Jones is going to be able to hold them off with the help of Bryant Seaborn, number 76, now running in second position.
Sam Jones still leading the freight train, coming into turn number 1. He has Seaborn all over his back bumper. Then in third, we have Scott, the top line, trying to form here as we're coming into 1 and 2.
Yeah, and the one thing we mentioned with that push, you're going to be able to get up behind somebody and push, but the key thing we're going to have to watch out for is that guy giving the push. He doesn't want to overheat that car, and it will happen quick here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that to see how they're going to shuffle positions later on the run. Looks like the number 6 is of Kevin Winker is getting that push on the outside again. Looks like that outside line's tightened up a little bit here, as it's only 4 cars on the outside versus a good 10 or 12 on the inside.
Winker's getting a good run with Dorsey pushing him on the outside as they're double file coming through the tri-oval to complete lap number 3. My golden rule here at Talladega is don't push the pusher. If you have someone in front of the car in front of you, you gotta give them a little room. And now we see another car trying to make the third line move.
Yeah, that third line, unless you got help, I don't think it's going to pay, as Sam Jones is still leading them out as they come off turn 2. And looks like we got 3 lines forming here with, looks like the number 6 of Kevin Winker is going to be stuck in the middle here.
We got 2 up front, and then we have 3 wide, 2 rows deep. This is getting exciting early on here. We're only at lap 4. Sam Jones still leading the train off 4.
Yeah, and as you see a group of cars running single file behind this pack of cars here, wonder if they're sitting back there watching this and seeing how things play out, because hopefully they can avoid it if something happens, because they're still 3 wide going into turn 1 and 2.
They're doing an amazing job right now. That third lane up with Seaborn, Winker, and Dorsey, I believe, as they're coming down the back straightaway, still 3 wide. That top line is just showing the persistence it needs early.
Yeah, the top line is showing persistence, but up until this point now, Sam Jones along with Brian Seaborn has really not had anybody on their outside very much. Looks like the bottom line right now is going to be the place to be, and unless here we go, we're tightening up on the center line's going to get the run.
Sam Jones getting a little loose coming out of 4. That's going to give the run to Winker coming through the middle. They're 3 wide, 3 rows deep, coming into 1.
3 wide coming into 1. This is going to be interesting to see. I believe probably Sam Jones is going to get the run here on the bottom side, as you see a lot of movement there. These cars are so hard to carry, so hard to hold there, especially 3 wide, fighting to stay in your lane, and these cars shuffle around so much with the draft.
Cody Dorsey and Clayton Kinkart on the top line trying to make it work with the help of the 48. Brandon Browning, they're doing an amazing job on the top line right now as they're still 3 rows deep, 3 wide. The guys in the back right now are saying, hey, let's just lay off a little bit. It's looking a little dicey.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, they're doing an amazing job right now running 3 wide around this track for the last, 3 or 4 laps. And being able to hold it is now looks like that third line is starting to unform there. And everybody's going to get back. Looks like almost 2 wide as you see a couple cars still up on the third line.
Yeah, Browning back down the third line. I think that might be a smart move with only on lap number 7. Sam Jones still leading it with Seaborn on the back. Seaborn being a really good friend to Sam Jones.
Yeah, and you're starting to see that probably that alliance paying off here. And, as we mentioned earlier, you'll see that all race long. But coming down that last lap, you got friends until that last lap.
Friends until the last lap. Hey, I'll take a friend until the last lap any day of the week, as now we got a car looking to make the third line, say, hey, is anyone going to come with me? He might see someone as they're 3 wide coming into turn number 1.
Yeah, that's Colton Kinkard on the outside there in the third line, waiting to see if anybody's going to squeeze up behind him, as it looks like the 45 Sam Jones is going to be able to hold it here 1 and 2, but don't look now, the 6 is going to get a run here on the back straightaway.
Winker drag racing with Sam Jones down the back straightaway. There's 4 cars in the middle lane right now. That bottom lane doesn't look like it's too bunched up. They just have to bunch up and protect that bottom lane. I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah, and here comes the real question. If Kevin Winker can get the jump out front, is he going to wait and get the 00 Brandon Pearl by the inside line first, or is he going to have to go ahead and make that move down? Because you can have that run temporarily. If you don't take advantage of it, you might lose it.
Jeff, we talk about friends all day. That's a best friend. As no Winker going to leave him out to dry. He's going to drop in front of Sam Jones as they come into turn number 1 and 2. New race leader, Kevin Winker.
Kevin Winker's taking the lead there, but, don't look now. We mentioned that Brandon Pearl, who was pushing him to the front, has now got the run on the outside. He's going to try to squeeze by Kevin Winker on the outside and get to the lead.
Cody Dorsey doing all he can to push Brandon Pearl to the top spot. Now we ask, is Brandon Pearl going to do the same thing that Kevin Winker did?
Yeah, I believe we're going to see a lot of shuffling here, because when you get out to the front, I think you just got to take advantage of getting in that lead position. Later on in the race, you're sitting duck, but right now, you want to try to get to the front. It looks like that third line is forming again. We got 3 cars on the outside coming up. They're pushing hard here with 10 laps in.
30 to go. We see 3 rows back of 3 wide action right now. I don't know if Kevin Winker can hold them all off. As now we have I'm sorry, but it is Browning to the point.
Yeah, Browning got a huge run on that third line there with the help of, it looked like the 77 of Clayton Kinkard gave him that push to give him a huge run out front, as he's now taking the lead Cody Dorsey in the 84.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Corey Dorsey, but he pulls to the top spot. Now we have Kinkard coming, and now on the outside is Browning working with that 48.
Yeah, that outside line is really getting a good run there, especially coming down the back straightaway. And here's the question: how much side draft is going on? It looks like the 66 gets a little loose there, but they're able to maintain and gather it back together.
Big moment for the 48 and number 2 as they're wrecking down the back straightaway. Oh, that's a 45 in the back wall.
Yeah, it's the early leader there, Sam Jones, and the wall there, and I don't see a caution flying, so we're still under green here.
Tough break for our race leader as no caution flies. They're still 2 by 2 as Browning's still trying to get that third lane moving.
Yeah, that third lane, and now Browning is stuck on the outside by himself, as it looks like the first 2, the bottom lane and the middle lane have formed up really well now, so Browning will probably get shuffled to the back here unless he gets some help pretty quickly.
Cody Dorsey trying to make that bottom work right now, but we have Clayton Kinkard trying to control both lanes in 1 and 2. Coming out 2, they're battling right now as they touch the 24. Big wreck coming out 2.
Yeah, it looked like the 34 and the 75 got together there a little bit. Maybe a little side drafting, got the car spun around, as that'll bring out our first caution of the night, and we'll try to go back and take a look at that. Looks like the 34 and the 75 got a little loose there in the corner along with the 97. And this is one of those tracks that you get loose in that corner. It's hard to save it, especially with the steering ratios you're running here.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the number 75, Brian Skidmore. His night is actually, you know what? We have a fast repair in the bank. My apologies on that. So you know what? That really helps Sam Jones too. He got that caution, and now field strategy out the window. Everyone's coming down this time.
Yeah, I expect everybody to come down, and if you got any little damage here, go ahead and get that fixed. You got that fast repair in the bank, as you mentioned. That'll definitely benefit Sam Jones here, who got knocked down off the track a little bit earlier. So, it's still anybody's game here. Fuel strategy, as you mentioned, out the window, and I expect them to get 4 fresh field goods when they come down.
Absolutely. As the pace cars in turn 3 and 4, I'm expecting pit road to be a busy place right now, as we have King Car as the race leader with Pearl in second.
Yeah, Clayton Cathcart was able to take that lead a couple laps ago, and it's been nothing of it but exciting 3-wide racing here. We're 13 laps into this race, and as we mentioned earlier, interesting to see, what alliances are going to form later on. Is it Cathcart is going to be out along with Brandon Pearl there. He tried to, I'm not sure if he baited anybody to go down pit road, but he's going to stay out as, this caution will help him as far as fuel.
Yeah, that's a call that the man on top of the box makes, and that's why they get paid the big bucks. King Cart staying out with Pearl and Dorsey. It's gonna be tough out front trying to save gas, but maybe these pace laps they're gonna save enough.
Yeah. Let's while we're on the caution here, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with all this exciting action from Talladega. All right, race fans, welcome back to the Thursday night throwdown here with the Arca series coming at you from Talladega. Just a little recap here. We're under our first caution. We're 14 laps into 40, and it's been nothing but exciting, fast-paced fun up front as we've seen 3-wide racing pretty much from lap 5 all the way now, and we've seen quite a few leader changes. Is now Clayton Cathcart is out in front. How do you feel about the action so far, Craig?
Oh man, Sheffield, it's been nothing but exciting. Early on I thought, hey, maybe they're gonna take it easy. Maybe we're gonna see some cars go to the back. Not a chance. 3-wide action, 3-4 rows deep. These guys are doing a heck of a job, and we're coming to 15 to go. The lights should come out this time, and we're gonna go back to racing.
Yeah, I'm thinking the lights will probably go off this time by, as we mentioned earlier, Sam Jones got spun off the track there. He's now scored. He's showing out now, so I'm not sure exactly if he had a fast repair or not. But that last caution, these guys were able to go in that were involved in the accident and use that fast repair and get back out. So it's still anybody's game at this point as the lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crapshoot here for the last 25 laps. I'm excited. These guys are once again doing a great job. I thought Dorsey was doing a good job pushing. King Cart made a late pass there right before the caution. Don't count Brandon Pearl. He's starting out on the outside.
Yeah, Brandon Pearl has been up towards the front all race long so far. So as you mentioned, don't count him out. And Cody Dorsey, who took the lead earlier, a lot of these guys up front have been there the whole race, and it's just been a lot of shuffling back and forth, and we saw that third line form, third line go away, third line come back, and that third line has seemed like the one that's been able to push drivers out to a huge lead to come down to the bottom and take the number 1 spot.
Yeah, the third line, you know, it gets a little sketchy riding up against a wall. You gotta trust your classmates, I guess I'd say. You gotta trust that everyone's gonna keep a fine wheel. That, like I said, they're doing a great job. One caution through 13 laps. Really excited to see the rest of this race.
Yeah, as we look now, you know, as we mentioned, Clayton Kencard, our leader, he's going to bring them into, uh, looks like turn 3 and 4. Lights are out on the pace car. Now, here's the thing, Clayton Kencard will have the advantage here on the restart. And the thing here is, Talladega, you want to get a jump. You want the guy behind you with you because you don't want to get out there and be alone just to sit and duck with all these cars coming in the draft.
Yeah, if I'm King Car, I'm waiting until I see the green lights flash. I'm ready to go. I'm going to take them all the way through the tri-oval just right before the start-finish line because, like you said, if he gets a jump, like, say, right here, he's going to get freight trained.
Yes, he's bringing them to the start now. Looking any time for him to fire off as they come through the restart zone, and he's off. Clayton Kencard is going to keep the lead here, and Brandon Pearl jumps down to the bottom quickly here, coming into turn 1 as they're single file of the top 3.
Playing King Car with a great restart. Pearl will follow in line as they're 3-car breakaway from Dorsey. This is what I was saying. They have a chance to get freight train coming here in the next lap.
Yeah, as you start to see 4th place, 5th place, and all, start catching up with that draft here. But the Clayton Kencard and Brandon Pearl got a good jump there. Now, Cody Dorsey is going to have a huge run here. I'm wondering if he's going to stay single file with the 94 Robert Colgan behind him as he moves up to the outside, and Colgan is going to follow.
Dorsey making the move on the outside. He's going to see if he's going to have any friends to come with him. The 94 of Colgan trying to come with him to make that outside work so he can go to the point.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch how that works with those leaders at that huge of advantage when those 2 cars pull out like that. Kind of sucks those leaders back, and it gives them the advantage for a limited time here. Is you're starting to see the second line form. Looks like you got about 6 cars here in the second line, and I'm wondering if you're going to start to see 3 wide coming up again here pretty soon.
Yeah, they're sorting things out right now as King Cart and Pearl are still 1-2. Pearl all over the back end of King Cart, doing a good job pushing down the back straightaway. As right now, Browning, I think, wants to make that third line work.
Yeah, and as you see, Colton Kencard is sitting in 3rd place on the inside line here. So this is going to be interesting here. I'm not sure the relation there, but Mike can see how they work together here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the relation is either, but I'm guessing that's a friend in the field as they come to 23 to go this time by. King Cart's still out front. Pearl, they're trying to get a run on the outside with Dorsey. We'll see what happens as they're in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Cody Dorsey leading the outside line with Robert Colgan giving the push there. As Colgan just gets a little high and looks like, a little wiggle there. And we got some cars shuffling back there. It looks like right now the 84 Cody Dorsey is going to be up there by himself on the outside as things got shuffled up there coming through the last turn.
Robert Colgan had a big moment there, kept saving. That was a great save by the 94, but he's going to lose a bunch of track position as we go back up to the front. It's a single foul for 6 cars back. Then we see the second lane up top with 3 cars as 34, I think, wants to get out as well.
Yeah, you saw Cody Dorsey come back down to the bottom lane there as he didn't have any help on the outside. He might have some help there on the outside coming up in the next lap, and that's the thing, especially you're going to see, I believe, later on. You're going to see these top, say 3rd or 4th place car. When they see that run coming with a few laps to go, I expect to see him jump to that outside and get that momentum as Cody Dorsey is getting that momentum again on the outside, pushing his way up. He's almost beside the 4th place car now on the inside lane.
Cody Dorsey trying to make the side draft work. He has company behind him. The top lane right now as a 6-car pack trying to form up to get a run to chase down King Cart and Pearl.
And Colton Kencard still out in front with the lead. The assist of Brandon Pearl behind him, pushing in here through the front tri-oval. We're coming to lap 20 now of 40, so you'll have 21 to go pretty much at the line this time by.
Dorsey getting a run on the outside right now. Browning is still getting his nose up top, trying to see if anyone will take the third line with him. Dorsey looking, side drafting. As now we see Browning going up top, 3 wide.
Brandon Browning with that draft and then pulls into a side draft to try to get upside along Brandon Browning, but with no help there on the outside, I'm afraid he's going to fall back fast. It looks like we got some help coming for him on the outside lane.
Outside lane really trying to form as now that middle lane went up high. They're trying to figure out what's the fastest line around this as they come through the tribal. Dorsey right now side drafting, trying to make the middle lane work.
Yeah, Dorsey's trying to make up his mind which lane has got the most momentum. There's a caution. They get turned. Looked like Dorsey was in. I couldn't see exactly what happened there, but I saw Dorsey sliding down off the track.
Dorsey goes high, Dorsey goes low, a move too late. He gets spun. The big one here at Talladega.
Let's go back and take a look at this replay and see what happens here. Looked like the 84 just got a little loose there and came flying, kind of slid from the top down a little bit. And that's the one thing in these corners here that, any slight movement and your car gets loose, it can cause the big one.
A lot of cars in this one. 10, 11. I don't have a fast repair tracker, so I don't know who has one and who doesn't. Hopefully a bunch of these cars can still go down and get it fixed and come back up.
Yeah, as we're looking now in slow-mo, just trying to shuffle between lines and got a little loose there. And it doesn't take a lot to get the rear end of these cars loose, especially we mentioned everybody's running, that higher ratio of gear. So it takes a lot more to turn the front wheel. And when you do that, with the cars in draft, it upsets the rear of the car and can come around really, really easy.
Tough break for a lot of these guys, but I'll tell you what, the cars that stayed out the first time, I'm guessing they're going to have to come down and pit unless this caution right now gives them a better opportunity to save.
Yeah, and with the field run of like 37 to 40 laps here, these cautions would definitely help them be able to stay out if they choose to do so. Interesting to see who does come down here and who stays out, as we do have 2 green, white checkered, attempts, and that may push, outside of 45, 46 laps, so I'm interested to see what happens here. It looks like Clayton Kincard is going to stay out. The top 3 stayed out there.
A bold strategy for the 77 of King Cart, as now we're going to go to a commercial and we'll be back racing
Let's face it, to build a new website or redesign your existing site, you have 2 options. You can start by learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SEO, SQL, CMS, well, you get the idea. Or you can be smarter and look for someone who is a professional in web design like Sneed Competition Design. We are experienced in building quality websites for our clients. We always start with strategy and planning to build a clear vision about what you need. Your website will then be passed on to the design and development phase, where we will ensure that you get a fully responsive design that is easy to use regardless of any device using the latest tools in web development. Contact us today, and let's talk about accelerating your business to the next level by creating a complete online solution.
All right, race fans, welcome back to the Thursday Night Throwdown with the Arca series here at Talladega. We are about 23 laps into the 40-lap race here, scoring Clayton Kincart in the number 1 position, Brandon Pearl in second, and the top 3 will be Brandon Browning in the number 48. In case you're just tuning in, we're under our second caution now. Been a lot of exciting racing here, 2 wide, 3 wide at times, with quite a few lead changes there, and the action has been really, really fast-paced. We didn't see many cars pit that time by, Craig. How you feeling about fuel strategy now, if you're one of the guys out front?
If I'm a guy out front, I've made my bet, I gotta lie. I don't know exactly what is going through their mind right now with the gas, but if it was me, I'm shutting it off, starting it up, clutching it, trying to save as much gas, especially King Cart. because he's going to be out front. He's going to be burning the most gas. So maybe he'll let someone go and he'll draft and save a little gas. It's just a waiting game. We'll see.
Yeah, and that last one, that last caution, it's allowed some people to go in and get some repairs. As it looks like Cody Dorsey is back out on the track now, and it's still, with 17 to go this time by roughly, it's still anybody's ball game. As we saw early, it got aggressive early, a lot of movements early. I think people were determining which lane was going to be the fastest, where they were going to be able to get the runs, and saw quite a few lead changes early. And I expect it to get back to fast-paced action here, especially when we get inside 10 to go, as the lights are back out on the pace car.
Lights are out on the pace car, and like you said, a very exciting race so far. These guys are doing a heck of a job. 3 wide, 4 rows, 5 rows back. Very aggressive. Now we're in 17 to go. Gloves are about to come off. We're about to go racing.
Yeah, and we've seen Clayton Kenkart, Brandon Pearl work together pretty well here. So I'm wondering if Kenkart's going to get a good jump here on the start, and Pearl's going to try to squeeze back down on that inside line to help continue to give him a push, or if he's going to try to go out to the front, and because he's got a little bit more fuel, I'm sure, than the 77 of Clayton Kenkart.
Have to save gas. It's a fuel mileage race now. If these guys stayed out, Browning right now, he's going to be in 3rd spot. That's the catbird seat, as he's going to hopefully we'll see what he does. He'll be pushing Kenkart here. If you're Kenkart, I don't know if you want to get out to that big lead like he did last restart, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, with that big lead, and you're sitting duck, and as you mentioned, Brandon Browning has been up front all night long, pushing and trying to get that 3rd line going, and just hasn't had that too much of the help behind him here, as we're coming through 3 and 4, and now the lights are off on the pace car, so we'll go green this time by.
Field coming out, turn number 4, the pace car looking to dip down. It's going to be Kenkart, Pearl, 1-2, Browning in 3rd, Rogers in 4th, Seaborn 5th, Abbey in 6th, Griffin 7th, Gronowski 8th, 9 Colgan, and Bartles round out your top 10.
Kenkart's going to bring them right to the restart zone here. Let's just start seeing them fire off there momentarily. As we mentioned, Clayton Kenkart on the inside and Brandon Pearl here on his outside. And here's where the action is definitely going to happen here. As Kenkart is underway, he's going to get a good jump, and as we mentioned earlier, Brandon Pearl is going to squeeze back down in that 2nd position, and you're going to see a single line for him, looks like, here on the bottom as we come into turn 1.
Reminiscent from the restart earlier, Kenkart gets a good lead with Pearl right behind him. Now we have Browning in 3rd. Let's see if they come out too. If Browning dips his nose out to maybe get that top line formed.
Yeah, pretty much all cars are single line except for about 5th place back. I'm trying to place who that is on the outside. It's Joshua Abbey on the start by himself on the outside line there in the 05 car. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of help from Curtis Rogers there, and see if they can put something together here.
Abbey looking for a friend here with 15 to go this time by. Browning in 3rd. Kenkart trying to control both lanes as they're side-by-side for a lead. Joshua Abbey might take the lead here coming across start-finish line with 14 to go.
Yeah, Seaborn is pushing Abbey there on the outside line, and it looks like the 65 is going to tug up Curtis Rogers as well, as you got one car on that 3rd line up there on the outside trying to make something happen.
3rd line trying to form. That's the 6th car of Winker. He's familiar from being up front, as he's the only one out there. Now we have Seaborn. Oh, I'm sorry, Seaborn's in the middle, still pushing Abbey coming into turn number 3.
Yeah, that was impressive, as much as Winker was able to get a huge run on the outside there by himself there, coming down the backstretch, as Clayton Kenkart is still leading with it coming through the trioval here.
Kenkart leading. Abbey still in there in the middle of the lane with the 76 of Brendan Seaborn. So they're side by side, 13 to go, coming into turn number 1.
Looking at 2 lanes here, the third lane is trying to form on the outside with Kevin Winker, and still got Brandon Pearl there, sitting the catbird seat at second position, still pushing Clayton Kincart around the track there.
Top line really trying to form to get that run on the outside. Is now we have another car dipping out, and that's Winker still trying to make that outside work.
Yeah, he's getting that run in the second lane, trying to move up and hoping he can pull somebody with him to help him get a little run there. Is just saw the 30 car shift down to the bottom lane from the second lane. That's going to slow down the second lane momentarily, and that's going to give the advantage to the bottom lane here.
Kincart still doing a really good job in first on the bottom line. I think to protect that all night with Brandon Pearl and Browning. As they come into turn number 1 and 2, side by side, they're 3-row. Winker still trying to find a friend up top.
Yeah, Winker trying to find a fin up top, but he's able to hold his own there on the outside line, and he's able to make up some positions. Looks like they're on the outside all by himself.
Joshua Abbey getting a good run in the middle. Help by Brent Seaborn as they're in turn number 3, side by side, as Kincart still holding the position down low.
Yeah, advantage bottom lane here coming through 3 and 4. Might see a little shift here. Abbey should be able to get a good run here coming through the tri-oval as they get ready to enter 1 and 2. Abbey on the outside with Brian Seaborn giving a good push behind. As it looks like the third line now, the 6th Kevin Winker's got some help behind him.
I think if Kincart, Pearl, and Browning are consistent and they're nose to tail for the rest of this race, the bottom line is going to be really hard to beat. As Winker finally finds some friends up at the top line, that's Bradley Wilson behind that number 6.
Yeah, and they pushed out to a huge advantage there on the outside. I wonder if they're going to try to slide it down, but right now they're going to stay up in the outside lane. Looks like they think that third lane is going to be the advantage here as we're closing in on lap 30 coming by at this time by.
Abbey Seaborn left out to dry in the middle as a top side still working. Winker finally finds support. Bradley Wilson says, hey, it's go time. 10 to go as they cross the line.
Yeah, Abbey is sitting in that middle lane, still being pushed by Brian Seaborn, and Abbey's got the advantage here coming into turn 1 and 2 in the middle, but as you see, the momentum's going to shift. Clayton Kincart still is out to the lead still.
3 wide, 4 rows deep, as Winker now goes to the middle line, as Bradley Wilson gets the outside run.
Yeah, Bradley Wilson with the help of Garrett Dill and the 63 machine there trying to pull the third lane back up towards the front.
That top line really trying to push through with Bradley Wilson up top with Delph. Bottom line still leading right now is Kincart, Pearl, and Browning on the inside.
Kevin Winker leading that second line as he's debating. Looks like he's going to move back up to the third lane of that Kingsford Chevrolet as they come into to 1 and 2.
3 wide right now. Kincart still on the bottom as Winker outside Abbey in the middle. The middle lane's still working strong with only 3 cars.
Yeah, it's very impressive right now to see the 77 of Kincart, the 00 Brandon Pearl, and the 48 of Brandon Browning just holding that bottom lane. Can maintain their gap and able to push back by on the bottom lane is to the advantage right now on the 6th car of Kevin Winker on the outside lane as they come out of 3 and 4.
Bradley Wilson doing a very good job of pushing Kevin Winker on the top lane. Don't count out Delph. They're out there 3 wide still coming to the line. 9 to go.
9 to go this time by, as you mentioned, coming through the line, and the outside advantage right now goes to Kevin Winker with Bradley Wilson giving a good push here. Things are really going to start heating up now within 10 to go.
Top line is doing a really good job. They just got to stay out of the wall and have a little patience as Abbey's still in the middle. As Winker he has the room to go down. Bradley Wilson makes a move down low, leaves Winker out to dry as they're coming into turn number 3.
Bradley Wilson takes the advantage, jumps to the bottom lane. That's going to put him in front of Kincart and Abbey. He's going to put him to the point there with Brandon Pearl sitting third and on the bottom line. So he's going to have some good pushers on the bottom as well.
Mental note, race note for Kevin Winker. He said, wow, Bradley left me out to dry. You find friends, you lose friends real quick here as they come into turn number 1.
Yeah, and as the pusher, you're going to push them so long, but end of the day, you got to get yourself the best position you can get. And Bradley Wilson made that move to the bottom lane to put himself out in the front as Winker is still pushing on the outside. Got Joshua Abbey pulling in the middle there. Looks like all three lines are running about equal right now.
These drivers are doing a fantastic job. It's now the whole field is pretty much 3 wide. This is super exciting as they're in turn number 4 right now as Bradley Wilson still holds it with Abbey in the middle lane.
Yeah, they'll be coming by. There was 7 to go this time by, and I expect to see a lot of shuffling starting to go on as those gaps that you'll see in the lines are going to start closing up. People are going to start making those moves inside with 7 to go here as the 51 of Bradley Wilson is still out to the point, but Joshua Abbey got the little advantage there coming into 1 and 2.
Bradley Wilson and King Cart down low. Abbey and Seaborn in the middle line. They're making it work. The top line kind of disintegrated, but they're building up a back to run as Kevin Winker working out on the top side.
Yeah, it looks like a little shuffle there between the 51 of Bradley Wilson and Clayton Kinkart. Got a little low off the track. Looked like somebody got a little loose there. It looks like right now the 05 machine of Joshua Abbey is going to have the point, but the bottom line is reformed and pushing right back up towards the front.
Joshua Abbey really has to think if that happens. A big moment, 84, Cody Dorsey in the middle of the trial. Zarekin, no caution yet. They're still 3 wide.
So Cody Dorsey and the 48 machine of Brandon Browning involved there. Couldn't tell if they were able to sell it, but this is going to shuffle things up to the front, especially with those 3 lines. It looks like now Kevin Winker is going to be the lone man standing alone, I said, on the 3rd lane.
Tough break for Cody Dorsey right now. It's Joshua Abbey still in the middle. Bradley Wilson right now leading with Brant Pearl right behind him.
Yeah, and got Joshua Abbey in the center lane. He's getting a good push behind from Bryant Seaborn. Kevin Winker is not giving up on that outside line as you've seen him be able to get it to work if he can just get a little help there.
Kevin Winker back where he started. He's searching for friends right now. Send out invites. As now he's falling back. Maybe he might get in line in the middle line and try to build up a run here as we have 5 laps to go.
Yeah, that outside lane is by himself. I don't think that's the last we see of him on the outside. I think that outside lane is going to be a lot of movement there, especially coming inside of 3 to go as they're coming out of 1 and 2 right now. Joshua Abbey is going to take the advantage in the center lane with the 76. Bryant Seaborn with the push.
Joshua Abbey right now really loyal to Seaborn in the middle lane. He hasn't left his side all race long as we're coming down to 4 to go. You think he might, if he gets a chance, take the bottom?
Well, as the leader here, you want to get that W. I mean, every chance you got, as we mentioned, you got friends to the end, but the end would be here with 1 lap, maybe 2 to go. You're going to see a lot of shuffling. Is all alliances to go out the window. If you can get that win here, we've got a big wreck as the 63 gets sideways there in the middle of the pack.
And that is the big one here again. The Arca Series. It's a parking lot here in turn number 1.
Yeah, that's just going to shuffle things up here, and it looks like this may take us to our first green-white checkered attempt here tonight. And it looks like Joshua Abbey is going to be the man on the point when they come back from this caution. Go green.
You said it earlier, the guys that have not pit yet, this is what they're fearing is the green-white checkered. I'm sure they were close to their fuel window. Now, Sheffield, do you pit this time?
Well, as you mentioned earlier, you kind of made your bed. You got to sleep in it. You're looking at that fuel gauge. You're cutting that car off every chance you get to save every little ounce of fuel you can. Don't know if we're going to see many cars pit here other than the ones that still maybe have a fast repair that they can get their car fixed, or maybe some moderate damage get fixed, which you can get fixed and get back out and get every position you can.
Yeah, we're going to see as the field is still trying to cycle around to the pace car. That was a massive wreck in turn number 1, taking out a bunch of these lead cars as we see the 63 just getting his left quarter panel turned. That causes a chain reaction as we see the 10, the 97, the 42 goes around. The 52 is just freight training. It was a big one here at turn number 1.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell from the replay if he just got loose coming in there, maybe had a little help from behind. It's just, it's so hard at tracks like this. You get bumped at the wrong place at the wrong time. Your rear end will just come around, and there's running three wide, two, three wide like that. The guys to your left and the guys behind you, there's nothing they can do except pray and hope that they can get through. Just try to drive it, as they say, through the smoke and find an open position here.
Yeah, it's now we look at our leaders. We have a couple takers coming down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like your top five are going to stay out. You had a couple takers from sixth on back. And yeah, as we mentioned, Joshua Abbey has taken the point here. You got Bradley Wilson sitting in second. He was giving a good push there to the number 6, Earl Kevin Winker, outside earlier. Decided to drop down and take a lead. So there's plenty of speed there in the 51 machine as well.
Bradley Wilson made almost that race-winning move, I thought, from the third line all the way down to the first. This race, going to the green-white checker, it's overtime here in the Arca series at Talladega.
Yeah, and it's gonna get, it's gonna get even heated up here, and even more in this green-white checker. Everybody's gonna try to get as much as they can, and talk about it last week in momentum. Quentin Sneed is now sitting in sixth position after his win last week. We haven't seen him up front too much tonight. He might have been waiting here till the last few laps to make his move. These guys practice a lot during the week, and they may know something that we haven't seen yet up here in the booth, or haven't shown the cards yet.
Yeah, Clinton Sneed all race at Atlanta last week. We didn't see him until the last 10 laps. Well, guess what? Knocking out the door, Sneed sitting in sixth. It might be Sneed's race. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, and as we both know here with racing this track, as many times, it's going to come down to, Abby is in the good position right now. If somebody can put together, have some help, put together the right move at the right time, they might be able to get by in that middle, or as we've seen earlier, that outside lane with the huge momentum. But it's going to take, I believe, more than one car on that third lane there to get enough of a bigger push to get by on the third lane.
Yeah, Joshua Abbey's going to have his right-hand man, Brian Seaborn, right behind him on this restart. Like I said earlier, on this restart, you can't get too big of a jump or you'll get freight train. You got to really roll the field around the tri-oval, wait till the green flag drops to really punch it. As right now, we should see the pace lights go out.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the pace lights should go out this time by. Now, a little different story here. You had Joshua Abbey there in the center lane, get to the front. Now he's going to be in the bottom. You got Bradley Wilson in the 51 who made that huge run in the third lane. That's going to put him on the outside, and he will have, I believe, Clayton Kincart pushing him, who's been a great pusher, has been up front all night long too. So I believe things are going to heat up pretty quickly here, and coming to one to go this time by. So starting to see them double foul. We'll see how these guys line up.
Kincart and Wilson on the top lane, with Sneed running third. The 84 Cody Dorsey back up to the 8th position. He's in the 4th lane back. So, I mean, that top line is going to be pretty strong with Browning out there too. So the bottom lane is really going to have to hold.
Yeah, this restart here is going to be critical of getting in the place you want to get with the help you want. If you can, as early as you can. And as we mentioned earlier, if you're Joshua Abbey, you want Brian Seaborn on your bumper as you take off here on the restart. You don't want to get hung up by yourself, as you're just going to get swallowed up, as that draft's going to build huge momentum and it's going to pull them right by you.
So as these cars come to take the green flag, when they come back around to take the white flag after that, it's all off. They can all wreck and no caution will fly. It's the first one back to the line, so it's going to be really exciting to see who's going to get it here. As laps are winding down, we're going into overtime.
Yeah, we're going to overtime here in the Arca race, and coming up after this, we have the truck series here as well at Talladega. So you get two big action-packed races here tonight, and as exciting as this one has been, I can't wait to see how the truck race is going to go too, Craig.
Super excited for the trucks. Those guys are going to be beating and banging all night long. Maybe we'll see the 3-wide action we've seen tonight. I can't wait as pace car getting ready to roll off here in pit road.
Yeah, pace car is getting ready to drop down, and Joshua Abbey will be leading them to the green flag here, with Bradley Wilson in second, Bryant Seaborn in third, and Clayton Kincart will be in your fourth position as they're coming by for the green-white checker start here.
Pace car dips down pit road. Abbey right now rolling the field around the big tribal here at Talladega. He's going to have Wilson on his outsides. Abbey's going to take off with Seaborn right behind him.
It's good restart there from Abbey. He's got the help of Seaborn right behind him. Looks like they're going to have a good run here, but looks like that outside lane might have a little bit of help unless they drop down, and Bradley Wilson drops down to the bottom lane with the 77 of Clayton Kincart behind him. So wonder how long it's going to take before somebody starts making their move here.
Yeah, 4-car single as they come out. Bryant Seaborn leaves his trusted pal Joshua Abbey down the back straightaway. They're side by side now. Now Wilson's right behind Abbey.
Yeah, it looks like the 76 Seaborn has jumped all the way to the outside line, and 77 Clayton Kincart is going to be leading that second line there, as Joshua Abbey is out front now with a good push from Bradley Wilson.
Joshua Abbey leads the train to the white flag here as Wilson gets out of line just a little, follows back. Abbey to the line, white flag in the air, one more time around.
2.66 miles to go around this Talladega Super Speedway. We got Joshua Abbey out front with Bradley Wilson pushing. Now here's the thing: when is Bradley Wilson going to make his move here? Because you got to make that move if you can. Here it looks like the center lane there is at the and the top lane are forming here, but I'm not sure that the big move I think is going to come from the inside lane here.
Little too late on the outside with Sneed, but it's going to be Joshua Abbey right now in first down low, getting help as they touch the 77 around as they come back to the line here at Talladega.
Still green as we're coming to the checkered flag here. Joshua Abbey is going to have the advantage as they come to the checkered flag, and they're wrecking behind them, and Abbey gets turned right before they finish. We're going to have to take a look at this to see who's going to score the victory here.
Bradley Wilson gets in the back of Joshua Abbey just a little. Joshua Abbey right now on my scoring chart is the race winner.
Yeah, that's what I'm scoring here on my chart as well. Let's see how this kind of unfolds here in replay as everybody's trying to get what little bit they can there. And Abbey gets him by inches.
What a finish here. Joshua Abbey, your race winner here at Talladega. Man, these guys know how to put on a heck of a show.
Yeah, what a great finish there. Entertaining from the beginning all the way to the end. You know, Abbey's excited. Great run by Bradley Wilson. Brandon Pearl is going to take that third position. And, you know, great job here tonight. You know, everybody wanted a W, but, you know, setting yourself up into, you know, three more races for the rest of the season. Hey, I would take a podium finish at Talladega any day of the week.
Yeah, it's a real crapshoot right now. Now we're going to take a break, and we're going to get these the top 3 guys here to an interview here shortly.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, race fans, welcome back to the exciting finish of Talladega Super Speedway here. What a great action-packed race we had tonight there, Craig. Looking forward, to the next 3 weeks with this group. It's gonna be nothing short of entertaining.
Yeah, very excited finish there. Man, heart adrenaline running as we're watching Wilson and Abby burn it down here. That's all day.
Yeah, and let's try to go trackside here and talk to our top three finishers here tonight.
Sam Jones, it's Craig and Sheffield up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
Sam Jones, heck of a run tonight. Coming down to the green-white checker. What's going through your mind?
Get to the front. I was way in the back, and I was driving to the front however I could do it. Got lucky driving through some wrecks in turn 4 and the front stretch, so super excited.
Yeah, Sam, good job finishing third, bringing home that number 45 to third place here at Talladega. It's always a crapshoot. Looking forward to next week at Michigan. Are you excited, nervous? You going out there have a strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I like Michigan. I haven't run it very much. My experience on iRacing is slim. But I'll get some practice in, and yeah, I'm definitely fired up for it. Looking forward to it.
Sweet, Sam, sweet. Going out to Brooklyn next weekend. It should be a show. Before I let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Full send, baby. Milk boys.
Sweet. That's Sam Jones, your third place finisher.
Yeah, I mean, great job by Sam Jones up front early, able to rebound and get himself back in position here, Greg. Uh, Ready to bring in Bradley Wilson here, see if we can get a word with him. Hey, Brad, this is Michael and Craig up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, what an up and down night tonight on the track. Saw you really strong on that outside lane pushing. Saw you make your move. Coming down to the green-white checker, looked like you kind of tried to make the move outside, and the door got closed. Tell us what you were seeing there on the track tonight, and how the car felt, in each lane.
Main idea of the race was that we were just going to stay in the back most of the race and kind of keep the car alive. And when there was like 12 to go, we knew that it was time to make our way up front, and that outside lane opened up. So me and Garrett Delph ended up making that outside lane work up there with, I think it was Kevin. Made it all the way up front and got with our other teammates, the other Shenandoah Shine guys. So we really wanted to get there and at least one of us win. And didn't really try to wreck Abby at the end. It just pushed a little too hard.
Yeah, and that's one thing with Talladega. You got to push to get everything you can, and you got teammates, and me and Craig were talking about. Teammates are there. You want to push each other, but you also want to get that W. We talked about earlier tonight. How close were you there at the end on fuel? I mean, according to my calculations, you had about 40 laps of fuel, and I'm sure those cautions kind of helped you.
I pit every caution we took, just stay in the back and just get out of the trouble. So I had like 12 gallons out left, so it wasn't as big of a problem to me as it probably was for other people.
Well, I want to congratulate you on a great finish here tonight, second place. I know it's one short of the way you really wanted to finish, but you're going next week into Michigan. You got 3 races left in the season. How you feeling about Michigan?
I never drove the car. Our Arca's on Michigan, so it's definitely going to be an experience to figure out what I'm doing.
Well, I'm going to give you the microphone here. Let you give you big shout outs. Thank yous to anybody you want. Microphone's all yours.
I thank my sponsors, Shenandoah Shine, Rectile Graphics, White Knuckle Esports, CGE, Empire Jerky, Martin Sports. Go to shenandoahshine.co. We're actually releasing some new stuff soon. GTR simulators for coming on board the new ride. So hopefully soon we're actually going to build the new sim here soon. So hopefully doing a little better next week with Michigan with the new sim. My teammates for helping me out there towards the end. Abby for not leaving me when that outside lane came coming. Full throttle battery. My dad for always supporting me for the 11 years I've been racing.
Well, like I said earlier, congratulations, and hopefully we get a chance to talk to you next week again in Michigan.
All right, that's what we're hoping for. Hoping for actually the truck race too.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. So good luck tonight in that as well.
All right, thank you.
Now we're bringing in our race winner, Joshua Abbey of the number 05. Let's see if we can catch a word with him. Joshua, it's Craig and Michael up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, fellas?
Joshua Abbey coming out the right place, the right time at the end. Man, you picked up that win. Big win here at Talladega. What was going through your mind in the last restart?
It's kind of just timing, really. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to have some teammates behind me that will see, kind of what was going to shake out. Where that second groove or that third groove, that line was going to get going, and they kind of did. It kind of stalled out, and kind of did, and kind of stalled out. But like I said, luckily we were able to hang on.
Joshua Abbey picking up a big win tonight. You and Brent Seaborn did a good job in the middle line all night long too. With this momentum after this win, going into Michigan in the final 3 races of the week, how are you feeling there?
It's huge. To get a win in any series, no matter what, it's huge, and especially this late into the run where points everything matters most. And picking up some, I think I led a couple laps, that's bonus points, and it's momentum. It's what you need. This, like I said, this late in the run.
Absolutely, Joshua. Well, before I let you go, anyone you would like to thank, shout out, say I love yous?
Oh, absolutely, man. Like I said, teammates, Sharon O'Shine, Martin Sports, Abbey Racing Esports, Quest Tech Position, Primetime Sports Talk. It just, it wouldn't be possible without these guys running hard. We had a great strategy and made it to perfection. Then at the end of the day, also too, I got to wish my wife thank you. Happy wife, happy life, love her to death. Wouldn't be able to do it without her letting me do this, honestly.
That's awesome, Joshua. Well, go out there, celebrate your win. Hopefully we'll see you back here in the top 3 here at Michigan.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens.
Take it easy, brother.
What a great win for him tonight. He was able to make that center lane work really, really well tonight. Didn't give up, was able to put himself in position and bring home the victory here tonight, Craig.
Yeah, hats off to everyone tonight. They 3 wide battling all night long. It was very impressive to watch these guys. And coming from Sam Jones saying he doesn't really have a lot of practice, or Bradley Wilson, I think these guys did a heck of a job all night long. It was very entertaining to watch.
Let's take a look at our official results here as we close down the night here in Talladega. Your winner, as we just talked to, Joshua Abbey in the number 5. Coming in second was Bradley Wilson in the number 51. Third was Sam Jones in the number 45. Fourth was 00 Brandon Pearl. Fifth was the 84 Cody Dorsey. Sixth was Jonathan Locke in the number 34. Seventh was Bryant Seaborn in the number 76. Kelly Everts in the number 10. It will come home 8th. 9th will go to Brandon Browning. And 10th will go to Garrett Delph in the number 13.
Finishing 11th, the number 94 was Robert Colgan. Finishing 12th is the number 42 of Kyle Bartles. Coming home 13th, the number 97 was Rodney Griffin. Finishing 14th, the number 30 was Ben Gronowski. 16th is Clayton Sneed. 16th was Clayton Kinkart. 17th was Kevin Winker. 18th, Brian Skidmore. 19th, Colton Kinkart. 20th, Curtis Rogers. And Howie and Scott rounding out your field.
Well, what a great race. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching us tonight with the Arca series. We got the truck series coming up following this broadcast around 9:45 from Talladega Super Speedway. Check us out and like us on Facebook and follow us on our YouTube streams to be informed every week as to when we'll be going live. Stay tuned for the truck race. That stream will be coming up pretty soon. And for Craig Burns, this is Michael Sheffield. Then have a great night. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Cheers, boys.